o Kaʻahumanu.
What if I told you that one woman changed the course of Hawaiian history forever? Not through war, not through conquest, but with strategy, bold reforms, and fearless leadership. Luciane Buchanan's powerful portrayal of Kaʻahumanu in Chief of War has sparked a wave of curiosity. But who was she really? Was she just a queen? A political genius? A revolutionary? Or all of the above? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this video, we're diving into the untold real-life story behind one of Hawaii's most legendary women, Kaʻahumanu. From royal marriages and religious reform to secret treaties and cultural revolutions, this isn't just history. It's the story of a woman who rewrote the rules of an entire kingdom. Stick around, because once you learn who Kaʻahumanu really was, you'll never look at Chief of War the same way again. Before the crown, Kaʻahumanu's early life. Let's go back, way before titles and politics. Kaʻahumanu was born around 1772 on the island of Maui. She wasn't just anyone. Her lineage traced back to powerful island chiefs. Her mother was married to the king of Maui, and her father was a top advisor. So even as a child, Kaʻahumanu was surrounded by the energy of rulers and the pulse of big decisions. You could say power ran in her blood. Now, here's where things get interesting. While she was still very young, Kaʻahumanu was betrothed to Kamehameha I, the future king who would go on to unify all the Hawaiian islands. It wasn't some random pairing. This was strategic, political. Her father saw something in both her and Kamehameha, a vision of what they could become together. And they did become something powerful. Queen of the kingdom and a force. Beside the king, Kaʻahumanu and Kamehameha. I had a fiery relationship. It wasn't always smooth, but it was enduring. And unlike many royal consorts of the time, Kaʻahumanu didn't just stand by her king. She stood beside him, advising, strategizing, governing. And guess what? She wasn't just any wife. She was his favorite. As Kamehameha fought to unite the Hawaiian Islands, one of the most significant political transformations in Pacific history, Kaʻahumanu was deeply involved. She traveled with him. She helped him navigate internal politics. She kept a close eye on rival chiefs. She was in it. Think of her less as a queen in the traditional European sense and more like a modern-day vice president. And honestly, sometimes even more powerful than that. Chief of War's fictional twist. In Chief of War, we meet Kaʻahumanu before she fully rises to power. The show takes some creative liberties, and rightly so. It's not a documentary, it's a historical drama, and that means blending fact with fiction to build a compelling narrative. One big fictional element, the prophecy. In the show, Kaʻahumanu is said to be destined to break this world. Now, no historical documents mention anything like that, but metaphorically, it fits. She really did break down one world and help build another. So even if the specific line is fictional, the spirit behind it is deeply true to history. What did she actually break? The Kapu system. Here's where Kaʻahumanu's legacy shifts, from powerful wife to revolutionary leader. After Kamehameha I died in 1819, Kaʻahumanu didn't fade into the background, like so many queens do when their kings pass. She stepped forward and took the reins. She took the title Kuhina Nui, which is a lot like being a co-ruler or prime minister. Alongside the new king, Kamehameha II, aka Liholiho, Kaʻahumanu began shaking the very foundations of Hawaiian society. One of her boldest moves, she helped dismantle the ancient Kapu system, the deeply ingrained system of taboos and social laws that governed everything from meals to clothing to religion. This system had existed for centuries. It dictated who could eat with whom, what women were allowed to do, who lived and who died. Breaking the Kapu wasn't just controversial, it was considered punishable by death. And Kaʻahumanu didn't just whisper about changing it, she acted. She persuaded Kamehameha II to eat with women publicly, a direct violation of Kapu law. It was a moment that shocked the islands, and once that sacred rule was broken, everything else began to fall. A woman of faith, strategy, and reform. Around the same time, Protestant missionaries from New England arrived in Hawaii. Many leaders were skeptical of these newcomers, but Kaʻahumanu, she welcomed them. She saw potential in their teachings, not just religiously, but socially and politically. She learned to read and write from them. And she didn't stop there. She pushed education across the islands. She wanted her people to be literate, informed, and prepared for the rapidly changing world. She was baptized in 1825 and became known as the New Kaʻahumanu, but her faith wasn't passive. It was a tool for reform. She worked closely with the missionaries, helping spread Christianity and education across Hawaii. She believed the islands needed a spiritual and political revival, and she was determined to lead it. Strategic marriages and bold moves. Now Kaʻahumanu wasn't done with bold plays. To stabilize the kingdom after Kamehameha I's death and ensure continuity of power, she made a controversial move. She married King Kamehameha I of Kauai, one of the last independent island rulers. Then, to reinforce that political alliance even more, she also married his son. These marriages weren't about romance. They were power plays, diplomacy through personal unions. By marrying both, she neutralized potential threats and pulled Kauai firmly into the orbit of the central Hawaiian government. Kaʻahumanu wasn't just ruling, she was reshaping the kingdom one alliance at a time. The first treaty with the United States fast forward to 1826, a big year. Kaʻahumanu and Kamehameha III signed Hawaii's first treaty with the United States. This wasn't just a symbolic handshake. It was a real agreement with economic consequences. American traders had run up massive debts from their dealings in the islands. Rather than let that burden crush local chiefs, Kaʻahumanu stepped in. She negotiated a deal. The Hawaiian government would pay off the debts with $150,000 worth of sandalwood. In exchange, Americans were granted free access to Hawaiian ports, legal protections, and trade rights. It was a big move. Risky, yes, but strategic. It helped stabilize the economy, earned her the support of powerful chiefs, and opened the door to future international diplomacy. The final years of a living legend. In her later years, Kaʻahumanu continued to travel across the islands, not for leisure, but to spread the word. Education, literacy, Christianity, these were her missions. She encouraged women to learn. She urged chiefs to modernize. And all the while, she carried with her a special red leather-bound copy of the New Testament, written in Hawaiian and printed just for her. But like all legends, her time came. In 1832, Kaʻahumanu passed away in Manoa Valley near Honolulu. She died of an intestinal illness, and her funeral was held at Kauai Church, often called Hawaii's Westminster Abbey. She was buried with honor, first near Iolani Palace, and later moved to the Royal Mausoleum. A queen, a regent, a revolutionary. Why Kaʻahumanu still matters. So when you watch Chief of War and see Luciane Buchanan's portrayal of this bold, visionary woman, know this. The real Kaʻahumanu wasn't just powerful because of prophecy or drama. She was powerful because she knew how to lead. She knew when to hold tradition and when to break it. She knew how to use alliances, marriages, religion, and diplomacy to transform her kingdom. She wasn't afraid to challenge the gods of her time or rewrite the rules entirely. She was a queen, yes, but more than that, she was a builder of new worlds. Our nerdy thoughts. Kaʻahumanu wasn't just one of Hawaii's most influential historical figures. She was one of its most daring visionaries. Her legacy isn't just written in history books. It's etched into the very DNA of Hawaiian politics, culture, and identity. So the next time someone says Chief of War is fictionalized history, sure, they're right. But the fire at the center of it, that's real. That's Kaʻahumanu. And she really did break the world, so she could rebuild it better.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.